Wake up your manhood in just 3 minutes. Every morning. Let me ask you something. Have you ever rolled out of bed in the morning, shuffled into the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and thought to yourself, where did all that energy I used to have go? Maybe you notice that your mornings don't feel as lively as they once did. Things that used to just happen naturally now feel a little slower, maybe a little quieter than you'd prefer. And if we're being honest here, because that's what this conversation is all about, you might have even noticed changes in your manhood. Changes that nobody really talks about openly, but every man starts to feel sooner or later. That's why we're here today. You're not alone in that experience. In fact, it's something I hear from men all the time, especially once they reach their 60s, and it's perfectly natural. The body changes, sure, but that doesn't mean you have to sit back and accept it without doing something about it. The good news is there are simple, practical steps you can take right now, literally starting tomorrow morning, to help wake up your manhood, boost your energy, and feel more like yourself again. And it doesn't involve complicated exercises, special equipment, or spending hours at the gym. All it takes is about 3 minutes every morning. Now, when I say 3 minutes, I really mean it. Just a few mindful moments as soon as you get out of bed can set the tone for your entire day. You'd be surprised how powerful that small window of time can be if you use it right. And today, we're going to talk about exactly what you can do during those 3 minutes to help get things moving again. Circulation, energy, confidence, all of it. Let's start with the very first thing, activating blood flow. You see, one of the main reasons men start to feel like their manhood isn't what it used to be is because of something called reduced circulation. Over time, as we age, our blood vessels lose a bit of their flexibility, and we tend to become less active in general. That combination means less blood moving through the areas that rely on it most, including down there. So, here's the first habit I want you to try. The moment you get out of bed, before you even grab your coffee or check your phone, I want you to stand tall, take a deep breath, and start with some gentle stretches. Nothing fancy, just raising your arms over your head, reaching toward the ceiling, then bending forward slowly, letting your arms hang toward your toes. You don't need to touch your toes, just let gravity do its work. This simple stretch wakes up your whole body, gets your heart pumping a little bit faster, and encourages fresh blood to circulate through areas that might have been a little stagnant overnight. While you're stretching, breathe deeply, in through the nose, out through the mouth, slow and steady. Breathing like this helps oxygenate your blood, relaxes your nervous system, and sends signals to your body that it's time to wake up fully. It's a way of telling yourself, hey, it's a new day, let's get things moving. Now, after a minute or so of stretching, we move into the second key habit, gentle pelvic tilts. I know that might sound a little unusual, especially if it's not something you've done before, but stick with me here. Pelvic tilts are a small, controlled movement that helps engage the muscles in your lower core and pelvic area, muscles that play a big role in supporting blood flow and function in your manhood. All you have to do is stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, bend your knees just slightly, and gently tilt your hips forward and back. Imagine you're tucking your tailbone under, then sticking it out just a little. It's not about big movements or speed, it's about control. You'll feel a light tightening in your lower belly and maybe even around your backside. That's exactly what we want. Doing these slow, mindful tilts for just 1 minute helps wake up the pelvic floor muscles, gets blood flowing to places that need it, and reminds your body that this area is still important, still active. And I'll tell you, many of the men I've worked with have found this one small habit makes a bigger difference than they ever expected. One gentleman, Mr. Ray, told me he'd always thought his morning stiffness was just in his knees and back until he started adding these tilts to his routine. After a couple of weeks, He felt a new kind of morning energy that he hadn't felt in years. After those pelvic tilts, we move into the third part of your 3-minute routine: gentle breathing and focus. Now, this might sound simple, but don't overlook it. It's easy to let your mind wander first thing in the morning, thinking about what's on your calendar, what errands need to be run. But taking just a minute to stand still, close your eyes, and focus on your breath helps settle your mind and support your body. While you're breathing, try this. Bring your awareness to your core, your lower belly, your pelvic area. Visualize energy moving through that space, waking things up, refreshing everything. It might sound a little out there if you've never done it before, but trust me, it helps. Mind-body connection is real, especially as we get older. The more attention you give to an area, the more your brain and body work together to keep it active and healthy. By the time you finish this short routine, stretching, pelvic tilts, focused breathing, you'll feel more awake, more alive, and you'll have done something powerful for your manhood in just a few minutes. It's not about big dramatic changes overnight. It's about consistent small steps that add up to lasting improvement. Let's keep going, because there's more to waking up your manhood than just movement. There are other daily habits that play an important role in keeping you feeling strong and confident as the years go on. Now that you've started your morning with those stretches, pelvic tilts, and deep focused breathing, there's another piece to this puzzle that makes a bigger impact than most people realize. And that's what you fuel your body with first thing after you wake up. It's no secret that what you eat plays a huge role in how you feel throughout the day. But when it comes to waking up your manhood and keeping everything running like it should, your morning choices really set the tone. Let me ask you, when you head to the kitchen after getting up, what's the first thing you usually reach for? Is it a big cup of coffee, maybe a slice of toast, or a bowl of cereal? I get it. That's what most folks do. It feels like the easy, normal thing. But here's the thing. Many common breakfast foods don't do your circulation or energy levels any favors. Processed carbs like white bread, sugary cereals, or sweet pastries give you a quick burst of energy, but then they drop you right back down just as fast. And that roller coaster effect doesn't just make you feel sluggish, it can also affect the blood flow to your lower body. Instead, starting your morning with foods that support steady energy and healthy blood circulation can make a real difference. I always recommend including a bit of healthy fat and protein early in the day, something like a couple of eggs cooked however you like, a handful of nuts, maybe some avocado on whole grain toast. These foods help keep your hormones balanced, support steady energy, and keep the parts of your body that rely on good circulation happy, including your manhood. One gentleman I worked with, Mr. Carlos, used to skip breakfast altogether or grab something sweet with his coffee. He always felt tired by mid-morning and noticed that his energy just wasn't where he wanted it to be. Once he started adding a simple breakfast with protein and healthy fats, he noticed more pep in his step, and as he put it, things started working better overall. That's the kind of quiet, positive change I love to hear about. While we're talking about habits that affect circulation, there's another key part of the morning routine that many men forget, and that's hydration. Your body spends all night working, repairing itself, and flushing out waste. But during that time, you're not drinking anything, so by the time you wake up, you're already a little dehydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. That's why one of the simplest but most effective things you can do after your morning stretches and breakfast is drink a glass of water. Not coffee, not juice, plain water. It doesn't have to be a big glass, but make sure it's enough to get your system going. Hydration is directly tied to blood flow. The more hydrated you are, the easier it is for your blood to move freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body. I had one older gentleman, Mr. Howard, tell me he always skipped drinking water in the morning because he didn't want to deal with extra bathroom trips. But once he started making it a habit, just a small glass first thing, he actually felt better overall. Fewer muscle cramps, better skin, and yes, a noticeable difference in morning vitality. Now, alongside movement, nutrition, and hydration, there's another habit that ties everything together, and that's maintaining a relaxed and positive mindset throughout your morning. I know that sounds a little abstract, but let me explain. As we get older, it's easy to start the day already feeling a little weighed down, thinking about aches and pains, bills, family concerns, or just the general challenges that life throws our way. But that low-level stress adds up quickly, especially first thing in the morning. When your body senses stress, even quiet background stress, it releases hormones like cortisol. Those stress hormones can constrict your blood vessels, slow down digestion, and make it harder for your body to perform the way it should, including in the areas we're focusing on today. So how do you create a calm, confident mindset as part of your morning routine? It doesn't have to be complicated. Even taking 2 minutes while sipping your water or having your breakfast to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and focus on something that makes you feel grateful or happy can make a difference. Whether it's thinking about family, remembering a good memory, or just enjoying the sunrise outside your window, those small moments shift your mindset from tension to relaxation. I had a neighbor named Frank who used to wake up every morning already feeling irritated, already dreading the day. And you could see it in how he moved, how he talked, even how he stood. Once he started practicing a simple gratitude moment each morning, things started to shift. He wasn't just more pleasant to be around. He also said he felt stronger, steadier, and more like his younger self again. When you combine movement, mindful breathing, good nutrition, hydration, and a calm mindset, that's when real, lasting results start to show up. And remember, we're not talking about big, dramatic changes. Just a few small things done consistently. 3 minutes to start your morning with intention, followed by a couple of thoughtful choices in the kitchen, and a calm, steady approach to whatever comes next in your day. Now, there's still one more important piece to this morning routine that ties everything together and helps ensure that your manhood and your whole body stays energized and active for years to come. Let's keep going. As we continue building on that morning routine, there's one final piece that really ties everything together, and it might be the one most men don't think about often enough. Engaging your core muscles through intentional, light strength movements. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Strength training sounds like something for younger guys, or maybe it feels a little too intense to add into a peaceful morning. But I'm not talking about lifting heavy weights or doing anything extreme. I'm talking about simple, controlled movements that wake up the muscles supporting your posture, balance, and yes, your manhood. See, there's this group of muscles called the pelvic floor. They work quietly in the background to support everything in your lower body, from your bladder and bowels to your manhood itself. And as we get older, those muscles naturally weaken if we don't give them a little attention. Weak pelvic floor muscles can lead to things like reduced sensitivity, less control, and all those subtle changes men often chalk up to just aging. But the truth is, those muscles can be re-engaged and strengthened even later in life. And that's why I recommend adding in one final morning habit: light core and pelvic floor exercises. One of the simplest ways to do this is with something called a standing abdominal brace. It's not about crunches or sit-ups. It's about standing tall, feet shoulder width apart, and gently tightening your stomach muscles as if you were preparing for a light push to the belly. Hold that tension for about 10 seconds, then release. You'll feel your lower belly and core gently engage, including those important pelvic floor muscles. Doing that 3 to 5 times as part of your morning routine is easy, doesn't take more than a minute, and helps keep everything strong and responsive. Another option, if you feel comfortable, is doing a few light squats. Again, no weights necessary, Just slow, careful movements using your own body weight. Keep your back straight, bend your knees, and lower yourself slightly, as if sitting down into a chair, then stand back up. Even 5 to 10 of these can make a noticeable difference in how you feel throughout the day. One gentleman I worked with, Mr. Dennis, had been struggling with energy and confidence in his 60s. He wasn't someone who enjoyed going to the gym, but once we introduced these simple standing core exercises and light squats into his mornings, things started changing. He felt steadier on his feet, his posture improved, and he noticed a clear difference in how things functioned below the belt. Now, as we wrap up everything we've talked about, movement, breathing, smart breakfast choices, hydration, mindset, and light core exercises, here's the part I really want you to take to heart. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. You don't have to do everything perfectly from day one. Maybe you start with just the stretching and breathing for a few mornings. Then you add in a better breakfast, a glass of water. Bit by bit, those new habits layer on top of each other until they become as automatic as brushing your teeth. And the results don't just show up overnight, but give it a couple of weeks and you'll likely start to feel something shift. Mornings feel a little clearer, your body feels a little stronger, and those quiet frustrations, things not working quite the way they used to, start to fade into the background. It's a powerful thing to know that even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you can still take control of your body's health and energy. You don't have to settle for less than you deserve. Age might bring changes, sure, but it doesn't take away your ability to live well and feel confident. So as you finish this video and get ready for your next morning, I'd really encourage you to give this routine a try. Wake up, take those 3 mindful minutes, stretch, tilt, breathe, then make a smart breakfast choice, hydrate, and add a little core engagement. It's a small investment of time with a huge return in how you feel, more alive, more in control, and more connected to yourself. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Have you tried morning routines like this before? Did you notice a difference? Your story might help inspire someone else who's just getting started. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more simple, practical tips for living your best life at any age. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Here's to waking up your mornings, waking up your manhood, and enjoying every day with strength and confidence. Take care, stay strong, and I'll see you again soon.